All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to In the Paint, Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. I'm Dan Tanner, reacting to Nuggets and Pelicans. We're going to do a live watch along here. There's about 4.5 minutes to go. Another really close, tightly contested contest in a Nuggets game. They are currently down 107 to 106 to New Orleans with 4:15 to go in the game. So we'll watch along here and see if the Nuggets can pull out another close win over these New Orleans Pelicans, who they are 2-0 against on the season. Trey Murphy III just hit a three to put the Pels up by 4. Adelman quickly calls a timeout. There has been several timeouts here called just over the last couple of minutes by both teams. So they're really strategizing here at the end. Peyton Watson, 27 points. He has been tremendous once again. Jamal Murray has 28 points on 9 of 17 shooting. So Peyton Watson, I tweeted his numbers over the last 7 games. This is not including tonight. He's averaging just under 24 points a game, shooting 49% from the field, 46% from 3, 7 rebounds, a steal, and a block over his last 7 games, not including tonight. So I've said this for weeks now. Peyton Watson has turned into an all-star right in front of our eyes this season with the Denver Nuggets. He has been absolutely tremendous. He scored 15 points in the second quarter tonight. That was a career high for him in a quarter. And, the Nuggets, I thought, overall struggled in the second quarter. And without Peyton Watson's heroics in that second quarter, the Nuggets would have been in big trouble at the half. But Peyton helped keep them in this and have given them a chance. Good to see Jamal Murray back tonight. No Christian Brown. He is actually back in Denver working on that ankle. So we'll get into more of the specifics about the game once this thing is over. But the Nuggets have the ball. There's plenty of time left. There's just under 4 minutes. And Murray's going to shoot a 3. Drills it. All right. Man, Jamal has been hitting some big shots in this game. All right, so it's a 1-point game, 3:35 to go. Jamal's got 31 points. He's 5 of 8 from 3. So really, really good game from Jamal Murray. It's so good to have. He just does so much for this team. So good to see him back. And like I talked about after their last game against the Bucks, really one of the most underrated things about Jamal Murray is his ability to bring the ball up the court and handle when teams try to pressure Denver. They were sorely missing that over the last couple of games where Jamal was out. Jalen Pickett just nails a 3. And the Nuggets are up by 2, 112-110, 3 minutes to go. They're looking to go 5-3 without Nikola Jokic, which would be just incredible for this team. And Jalen Pickett, I believe, gets the steal. Nuggets have the ball. They're playing well over these last couple of minutes. Oh. Jamal tried to thread the needle into the paint to Peyton, and it was too low, and they turned it over, and the Pels get a transition dunk. Damn it. Turnovers. You can't turn the ball over at this point in the game. It's just a killer. So we're tied at 112. That was Sadiq Bey who got the dunk there for New Orleans. Got to get this win. Oh no. Murray's going to have to throw up a prayer, and he makes it. Jamal Murray has got to be one of the best players in the NBA when it comes to hitting crazy circus shots that you do not expect to go in. He is so freaking good at that. All right, so the Nuggets are back up by 2. Zion in the paint. He misses. Gordon's got the rebound. Good defense there from Aaron Gordon on Zion. Wow. There's been so many close games lately here with the Nuggets. All right, Murray's got it. He's into the corner to Peyton. Oh, it rimmed out. That's his spot, too, for Peyton Watson. Minute 15 to go. Nuggets up by 2. Do we have another crazy finish in store, everyone? Are we going to get another overtime? And I believe the Pels just called a timeout. Okay, so 114, 112. Nuggets have the lead with 1:06 to go. I'm just reading the comments here. Marion, appreciate you listening. Well, they're rallying. They are rallying. Nerves for me. Man, it's like, I'm telling you, over the last couple of weeks, the Nuggets have just had some freaking nail biters. The Nuggets backcourt has 49 points between Jalen Pickett and Jamal Murray. In fact, I wrote down a note here in the first quarter. Jamal Murray and Jalen Pickett combined for 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting and 4 of 6 from 3 with 5 assists. That was the first quarter between Jamal Murray and Jalen Pickett. They have been a really good backcourt duo. You could tell there's been certain times tonight where you could tell that Jalen Pickett and Jamal are still learning to play with each other a little bit. There was a incident in the first quarter where Jalen had a big on him and he passed it to Jamal and Jamal gave it right back to him. And he's like, dude, you got a big on him. Like take it to him. You can go around this dude. So just little things like that. But man, I'm really liking the backcourt of Jamal Murray and Jalen Pickett. They've been great. Oh, Pels just scored to tie it up. Trey Murphy with the scoop and score. Golly, the Pelicans are outscoring the Nuggets 54-36 in the paint. They have dominated the paint tonight. Not shocking with the Nuggets' lack of bigs right now, to be honest with you. I expect them to get out rebounded most games. Watson's going to turn around and drills it. Golly, Peyton Watson. He's flexing. He has been so freaking good. He is an all-star caliber player now. I'm going to keep saying it because that's what we're witnessing. We've seen over the course of this season, Peyton Watson, and like I said, this is not a flash in the pan. This has been over the course, especially over the last month, but really the majority of this season, Peyton Watson has just, God, the Nuggets need to find a way to keep him. He has been amazing this year for this team. Murphy misses, and Gordon's got the rebound. There's 23 seconds to go. The Pels will foul. Or did Adelman call a timeout? Adelman's talking with the ref. I'm not sure if they called a foul on this or if Adelman called a timeout. But either way, it's the Nuggets ball. Man, Zion almost got the offensive rebound and scored, but missed the tip in, and Gordon got the rebound. Big time rebound from AG. Okay, so I think the Adelman did call a timeout so that they could advance the ball on the inbound. But I think they're out of timeouts now, are the Nuggets. So they have a 2-point lead. They have the ball. There's 23.1 seconds to go. This would be a massive win tonight because the Nuggets do play tomorrow night in Dallas, and that's going to be a really tough back-to-back for who knows if Aaron Gordon's going to play in that game? Who knows if Jamal Murray's going to play in that game? I would be surprised if Aaron Gordon played in that game just because he's on a minutes restriction. He hasn't been playing in back-to-back since he's come back from his hamstring injury. And honestly, I think that's the right call. Like you do not want to mess with that hamstring for Aaron Gordon. You want to try to keep him as healthy as humanly possible, especially over the next couple weeks while he works his way back into playing shape. But Aaron Gordon has looked great since he's come back. Like I've said the dichotomy between he and Christian Brown, who both returned at the same time. Christian looked like a shell of himself, and Aaron Gordon has looked phenomenal. All right, Murray's got it. He gets it over to Watson, and the Pels will foul with 18.4 seconds to go. So they're not going to go to the line. I think the Pels had a foul to give. Yeah, they did. So it's going to be side out of bounds. Watson will inbound to Murray. Good. Keep it in your hands, Jamal. Oh, pass underneath the Gordon for the dunk. 10.8 seconds to go. So the Pels actually, the shot clock and the game clock, they would have had a couple of seconds. So they were not fouling Jamal Murray. And Jamal just found a wide open Aaron Gordon right underneath the basket, and he slammed it home. What a pass. What a play from Jamal. Oh. So it's a 4-point game now. God, that was a great pass by Jamal Murray. They just completely forgot about Aaron Gordon. Wow. That's the difference in a lot of these games is a play like that when it's coming down to the wire. Good teams make those kind of plays, and bad teams leave guys wide open under the rim, like the Pelicans just did with AG. All right, so the Pels called a timeout. 10.8 seconds to go. Nuggets up by 4. Nuggets are on a 12-4 run over the last 3.5 minutes to close this thing out. How about that? They've been really good at closing quarters lately. They haven't been great at starting quarters, but they've been good at closing quarters. The last 5 or so minutes of quarters have been an area of strength for the Denver Nuggets. They're showing David Adelman right now. What a job he's done. With all of the injuries, he has done a tremendous job. I hope Nuggets fans appreciate the job that he and the coaching staff are doing right now with all of the different starting lineups they've had to go with. Okay, so New Orleans just tried to inbound it under the basket, and Peyton blocked it out of bounds, and he's saying that it's out on New Orleans. He wants them to challenge. I don't think the Nuggets have a challenge. I thought they already lost a challenge. I might have that wrong. Oh, they are going to challenge. Okay, so they do have a challenge. So Nuggets are going to challenge this. Let's see. They're showing the replay here. Oh man, that is so close. Oh my God. They're gonna have to show a different angle or slow that down. It was just, I mean, it's so Peyton Watson is saying he hit it off of Trey Murphy before it went out of bounds. It is like this is really close. This is a big call right here. This if this goes the Nuggets' way, this pretty much ends it because they'll get possession up 4 with 9 seconds left, and New Orleans would have to send them to the free throw line. Man, this is a close one. They've only showed one replay so far, and it was just way too quick to be able to tell. So let's see if they show another replay here. There was a funny moment in the game. They showed MPJ in the crowd, and it was a close-up on him, and at first it kind of looked like he was, in dress clothes sitting on the bench. I'm like, what is he doing here? But the Nets are playing the Pelicans tomorrow night, so MPJ catching some Nuggets action. All right, they're showing the replay here. Oh, my God, this is so close. Yeah, the angle they're showing is just so hard to tell. They got to show a different angle. I mean, just from the angle I'm seeing right now, man, it looks like it's out on Peyton Watson, but it is so freaking close. All right, here's Tony Brothers, our favorite ref. Oh, it's out on the Pelicans. The Nuggets win the challenge. Wow, what a play from Peyton Watson. He's giving them the stink eye, too. After the call, they did a close-up on Peyton Watson. He's like, that's right. That was awesome. Golly, Peyton Watson has made so many game-winning plays tonight. Okay, here's the reverse angle. This is a better one. Ooh, yep. I mean, it is like a millisecond difference, but it does look like it goes off Trey Murphy. What a freaking play from Peyton Watson. God, he has been just unbelievable over the last month. And he was doing this, running over to the bench. He knew, and he was right. By the way, Joker did not make the trip. It's smart. There was no reason to bring Nikola Jokic on this trip. He was on their East Coast 7-game road trip, but that's because he got hurt in Miami on the road. So Joker, Cam, Christian, and Jonas Valanciunas all did not make the trip. There was no need for them to do that. Just rehab. Vic said before the game, Vic Lombardi tweeted out that CB is back in Denver rehabbing his ankle. So, God, hopefully they can get him right. Good news for the Nuggets regarding Christian Brown is Peyton Watson's playing so well that they do not need to rush him back. Okay, so they threw 0.4 of a second back on the clock, so there's 9.4 seconds to go. Nuggets possession. So it looks like Bruce Brown's going to inbound this. Try to get it to Jamal Murray. And they do. Good, good. All right, and Zion will foul Jamal. Nuggets are in great shape, everyone. Jamal's going to the free throw line. They're up by 4 with 8.6 seconds to go. Best free throw shooter on the team at the line, and Jamal. Knocking on wood. I don't want to jinx you, Jamal. Drills the first. Nothing but net. All right, here's the second free throw for Jamal Murray. It is up and good. 6-point lead, 8.6 seconds to go. Don't foul. Pels they're just going to give him a 2. That's fine. 3.1 seconds to go. They're going to foul Peyton Watson with 2.4 seconds. Wow, what a win for the Nuggets. I know the Pelicans stink, but they've got some good talent. Derek Queen, I really like his game. You know, Zion. He's had a very underwhelming career, but he's still a talented player. The Jordan Poole was on fire in that third quarter from deep. When he gets going, he's an excellent three-point shooter. Trey Murphy has been a Nuggets killer in the past. Jeremiah Fears, the guard out of Oklahoma, I believe he's a rookie. Really liked him when he was in college, and he's looking like he's going to be a good player. The Pels are they're just a very young team, and they're a ways away from really being competitive. And that's it. So Peyton Watson hits both free throws. It is over. 122-116 is your final, and the Nuggets get the win over the New Orleans Pelicans. They are now 3-0 against the Pelicans this season. 5-3 without Nikola Jokic. How about that? Unbelievable. Yeah. Marion saying Spencer Jones fouled out. He did indeed foul out. But luckily that didn't hurt. That didn't go to bite the Nuggets in the ass tonight. Look, I've been really happy with Spencer Jones. All these guys. And again, we need to talk about David Adelman for just a second. Okay. After the Bucks game, when the Nuggets beat Milwaukee, I made a comparison of what the Nuggets are doing right now. They're the San Francisco 49ers of the NBA, and David Adelman is Kyle Shanahan. The 49ers have been dealing with so many injuries all season long. Shoot, even their quarterback, Brock Purdy, was out for an extended period. And they're in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, looking like they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. The Nuggets are missing the best player in the NBA. They were missing Aaron Gordon for a couple of months. Christian Brown is out again. Cam Johnson is out. This team has just found ways to win basketball games. I'm honestly kind of shocked at how well they've done without Nikola Jokic and all of the other injuries they've had. Like, I think some people have a tendency to think about this and just be like, yeah, they're doing this without Jokic. No, they're doing this without both of their centers, without 3 starters tonight. And they keep finding ways to win. Zeke Naji, again, he didn't score tonight, but I thought he really made some good plays on the defensive end of the floor, affected some shots, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, but you don't need Zeke Naji to go out there and be 14 to 16 point scorer a night. Now, if he can pour in a couple threes like we've seen over the stretch in Philly and against the Bucks, in Boston, yeah, you'll take that. But Zeke can still be effective on the defensive end. I think Zeke Naji, for all of his deficiencies on the offensive end, he has turned into a really good defensive player who can guard 1 through 5. He's a very versatile defender, and that's kind of what we saw tonight. So, okay, he didn't score. So what? As long as he's playing really good defensively, you take that. Tim Hardaway. Scott kept saying this on the broadcast tonight, and he did mention it's early, but he was right. He's like, Tim Hardaway needs to be in serious consideration for sixth man of the year. I mean, he's been that good this year for the Nuggets. He is. Where are they at right now without Tim Hardaway? They're not 5-3 without Nikola Jokic. I can tell you that much. And with Jamal Murray missing the last couple of games, like Tim Hardaway has been as steady as they come off the bench this year for the Denver Nuggets. He has been phenomenal. Bruce Brown struggled offensively tonight, but I thought he was okay overall. Like he only had 1 turnover, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, just 4 points, but on 2 of 5 shooting. But I think something I figured out with Bruce, number one, he's much better with Nikola Jokic. I think that's obvious. And you could make an argument that every single player on this team is better with Nikola Jokic, obviously. But there are certain guys who aren't as dependent on the Joker. Like Jamal Murray and Peyton Watson are proving, and Aaron Gordon are proving right now, they are not products of Nikola Jokic. Do they benefit from Joker? Of course they do. But they can still get theirs and be effective without Nikola Jokic. We're seeing it happen in real time right now. So that's, glass half full. Trying to look at Joker's absence and all of the injuries they're dealing with through a positive lens. Number one, I think it's given a lot of these guys who wouldn't typically play big minutes tons of confidence, tons of experience. Take Jalen Pickett, for example. This guy looks like he's a starting guard in the NBA now. How many of you Nuggets fans would have said that about Jalen Pickett at the start of this season? Shoot, even a month or two into the season, before the injury stretch. He has looked phenomenal. I mean, Jalen Pickett tonight, 16 points on 6 of 9 shooting, 4 of 7 from 3. I had no idea Jalen Pickett was such a sharpshooter from 3. I knew he could shoot the basketball, but not to the level he has been over the last couple of weeks. He looks composed. He looks in control. He can run the offense. The moment's not too big for him. He's been great. I could make an argument that he deserves to be in the backcourt with Jamal Murray when the team's at full health. That's how good he's been. He's been great. So that was a guy like that. Peyton Watson has obviously elevated his game to an all-star caliber level. Spencer Jones has been really good throughout this stretch. Zeke Naji has stepped his game up. Like, really, the only guys right now that are not building a ton of confidence is Deron Holmes and Julian Strawther. Boy, Deron, I can understand. I mean, he's so new and raw and young. I get it. Okay, he needs some seasoning. But Julian Strawther is like the one guy that I said when he came back from his injuries, and he's dealt with injuries too this year. He's had back problems. But that was the one guy when he did come back. I was like, all right, this is Julian Strawther's chance to like shine and do what Jalen Pickett's doing. But it's been Jalen Pickett that has answered the bell and not Julian Strawther. The reason I liked Julian in this injury stretch is because of his shooting ability. We haven't seen it consistently, but I've seen enough flashes from Julian to know, like, oh, he's a guy that can come off the bench and give you 20 to 25 points if he gets hot. Like, can Julian Strawther develop into a Tim Hardaway-like player? I don't know. I'd have to see more consistency from him before I'd be willing to go there. But I'll tell you this, he does have the ability to do that. I just don't know if it's going to happen. But other than that, other than Deron Holmes, which, I'm putting an asterisk by that because he's so young, so raw. It's just too early to make any sort of real evaluation about Deron Holmes. But Julian Strawther's been in the league for several years now. And this would be the time where he needs to step up. And he's just, I mean, Hunter Tyson is getting in over Julian Strawther right now. Not a great sign. And maybe he's dealing with some back issues. I mean, I don't know. But other than that, this team, what they're doing right now without Nikola Jokic, I hope everyone appreciates how insane this is. Think of the last couple of years. When Nikola Jokic went off the floor, they literally went from the best team in the NBA, just analytics and the eye test, the best team in the NBA, like best offensive rating, to the literal worst team in the NBA, according to offensive rating. So they went from the best offense with Joker on the floor to the worst offense when he left the floor. If these injuries happened last year or the year before, especially to Nikola Jokic, this team didn't have a shot in hell of going 5-3 over an 8-game stretch. I don't care who they're playing. They had no shot. But with the depth that the organization built over the offseason, well, I wasn't sure how it was going to look. But we're seeing how it can look. This team can still win basketball games when Nikola Jokic is not on the floor. And they've proven that. They're 5-3 over their last 8 games without Nikola Jokic, which is just spectacular. So credit to the young guys stepping up. Credit to the coaching staff. I think Adelman has been a steady rock through this stretch. And I'm telling everyone, Michael Porter Jr., Vic interviewed him during the game. And, it was actually really cool to hear from Michael talk about, Vic asked him, like, hey, are you here cheering on your guys? He's like, hell yeah. I used to go shoot up threes with Hunter Tyson in the offseason, worked out with Zeke Naji, played against Jalen Pickett. Michael Porter Jr. said on the broadcast, Vic was like, did you know that Jalen Pickett had this in him? And he was like, oh yeah. I saw it in practice a lot. So it's good to see these guys finally take that next step in their development and take advantage of the opportunity that they've been given with all of the injuries. Like, think about it this way. God forbid, I'm knocking on wood, but God forbid the Nuggets suffer some injuries in the playoffs. And in 2023, the year they won the title, a lot of it is injury luck. Like, they just were they were the healthiest team in those playoffs. And when you're a really good team and you're healthy in the playoffs, you go 16-4 and it ends in an NBA championship. But the numbers would say, and history would tell you that, that guys are going to get injured in the playoffs. But how much more confident do you feel this year about if that does happen in the playoffs, the Nuggets will be able to survive? I'm not saying a long stretch without Nikola Jokic. Obviously, they need him to win a championship. But they could they win a series? I don't know, maybe. Oh, D-Mac's here. All right. Sorry about that, D. I didn't hear the
oh, that's all right.
Hell in my ear.
That's all right. I just got my thing good. What's going on? What a great win, man.
I was just talking about, like, we need to really, that sick hat, by the way.
That's right.
We need to start talking about the job that David Adelman has done this year, and specifically during this stretch. This guy I hope that Nuggets fans understand and appreciate how special of a job he's doing. Dude, they're 5-3 without Nikola Jokic. Oh, and by the way, their backup center, Cam Johnson, another starter. Christian Brown, that's another starter. Yeah. Obviously, the Joker's out. Like, you know what I compared him to right now, what the Nuggets are doing?
Yeah.
I called him the San Francisco 49ers of the NBA, and David Adelman is pulling a Kyle Shanahan.
That's awesome.
I mean, this is incredible.
Did you see, like, how small they were on the court in the last 2 minutes? I'm like, okay. But these are the best guys that you have, so we're all right with it. Like, how tall is AG? Like
6'8".
Right? Like, if maybe.
But in NBA, in the NBA world, that's not a giant man.
Yeah, Peyton
He's
Watson,
not the tallest dude on the court.
Peyton Watson's like 6'6.5", something like that. He's tall, skinny. Yeah. But I mean, I was like, oh my God, hopefully we don't need a rebound here, which they got anyways. So whatever. I mean, it's really fun to watch. Like, when you watch this style of Nuggets basketball, it's so weird and so different. But man, Dan, it is so damn entertaining. I give him so much props. It's a blast to watch. I love watching it. It's weird, but and Jamal Murray, listen, I've had the crud for the past few days. I can't do anything. And Jamal, I know, has not felt well. Look at Jamal Murray, Dan. Like he probably has a few better people taking care of him than my cats, but but it's impressive as hell. Like, and hey, do not count them out tomorrow against Dallas. Don't count them out at your own peril, Dan. Count them out at your own peril.
I think tomorrow's going to be tough.
Of course,
I'm not saying they can't win. Obviously, I think they can, but I would be shocked if Aaron Gordon played tomorrow night, just because he hasn't been playing back to backs. Who knows if Jamal plays tomorrow night? I mean, I would bet you he does. Well,
he probably won't.
I bet you Jamal does. I would be shocked if Aaron Gordon does.
I'll be shocked if either one of them plays tomorrow night.
So without AG and Jamal, you're still confident that they can be competitive and possibly get a win over the Mavs.
It doesn't make any sense, but how did they beat the Sixers?
Yeah. How did they beat the Sixers? I still can't believe that.
I can't believe it either. I mean, your starting lineup tomorrow, maybe. Well, is Deron Holmes on the shizzle list here, or what's going on there?
Well, him and Julian Strawther. I was just talking about that. Like all these young guys playing well, building their confidence, showing that they belong in this league. Jalen Pickett, my God. Obviously, Peyton Watson. Zeke Najee's been pretty good over their injury stretch.
He didn't have a great night tonight, though.
I thought he was good defensively. He didn't do anything on offense, but I thought he was fine defensively. And I said this earlier, like, especially against a team like the Pelicans, you really don't need Zeke Naji to score a lot of points. You just need him to go out there and be a really good, versatile defender. And he was able to do that. But yeah, Deron Holmes and Julian Strawther might be in the doghouse a little bit here. Deron, I'm putting an asterisk by. He's just so young and new. Like, okay, we'll see. He's a wait and see. Julian Strawther, this is a little concerning because this is a guy, D-Mac, who I said at the start of the injury stretch, this is a great opportunity for him.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, he has been injured this year as well with a back injury.
Yeah.
But like, I was expecting Julian Strawther to do what Jalen Pickett is doing actually. You know what I'm saying?
And well, I don't want to
seize the moment.
I don't want to write anybody off because that's the worst thing you can do with this Nuggets team, right? So I'm not going to write anybody off. But it's a little bit disappointing. But you could have a starting lineup of, well, who would definitely start? Spencer Jones would definitely start. Pickett would definitely start. Peyton Watson would definitely start.
Yep.
And then
you probably go Zeke for Aaron Gordon.
Yes. So Zeke would start, and then
if Jamal doesn't play, probably Hunter Tyson.
Yeah, I would say I think that's good with like kind of like limited sort of minutes, but they've been doing that Hunter Tyson starting thing for a couple games. I like that because I do think Hardaway and Brown are both just more energy, better off the bench, so I would rather, and you need that second unit to be effective anyways. And they'll be the two key guys in the second unit. For example, Bruce Brown with, or rather Hardaway, 33 minutes. He didn't start, but Dan, he played 33 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that.
And he's in there in the important clutch moments.
Right. So whoever starts is kind of like, it's kind of whatever. Like,
yeah, you didn't see Hunter Tyson closing out the game tonight. Like,
no.
So, like, okay, what do you think about this, D-Mac?
Yeah. What?
I think Jalen Pickett is playing so well right now. By the way, him and Jamal as the backcourt tonight looked fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
There was that's
early in the game. That's how it would work.
Early in the game, you could tell that they were trying to kind of feel each other out and learn how to play. I think they're still learning how to play with each other a little bit. But
dude, you saw a two-man high pick and roll game with Jalen Pickett and Jamal Murray, where when Pickett rolled, he got the ball. Jamal passed him the ball. He kicked it to the corner to Peyton Watson for a three. But I'm like, oh wow, okay, I haven't seen that before. Pick and roll at the high post with Jamal Murray and Pickett. Dish to Pickett. Pickett kicks it to the corner for a three. Like, all right, that's a different two-man game, Dan.
Boy, they looked like they had some pretty good chemistry together. And I said this, T-Mac, even when this team gets healthy, with the way Jalen Pickett has played over the last couple of weeks, like
instead of who?
He should be your starter.
Stay instead of who?
Christian.
Wow.
I mean, again, like, you know, I feel like it sounds like we're just kind of shitting all over Christian Braun.
Yeah.
He's hurt. You know, I get it. Like when he came back, he was clearly not himself. He had no lift. Obviously, you know, I was like, either he's just really rusty or he's still hurt. Turns out the ankle was still bugging him. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like the shooting ability has been a just wonderful surprise from Jalen Pickett. I knew he could step out and knock down a three here and there, but I didn't know he was like a freaking sharpshooter from three. I mean, he's been great. He was 4-7 tonight. Man, and just the way that he and Jamal looked playing off of each other tonight looked really good. And, you know, Christian's come off the bench before, and maybe that's his role when he comes back, and he can contribute more that way, at least for a while until he's like fully back. But I think Jalen Pickett has earned to start for this team until he shows the coaching staff otherwise. What do you think?
That's a fascinating point. Tough break for Christian, right? Like he's not himself, and he's out again now. Maybe listen. I mean, where are we? Midway through the season, right? 27-13. Wow, almost midway through the season, right there. One game away.
Yeah.
I did hear a stat. I heard Kaz earlier on the radio say the five starters, you know, who should be your five stars. Dan, you know they've only played in 10 games together this entire season. They're 8-2.
So the starters that started the season,
yes,
have only played 10 games total. Wow.
8-2, but only 10 games out of this was the 40th game of the year. That's crazy.
That is insane.
And
they're technically they're tied with the Spurs for the 2 seed in the West. I mean,
and they have the best road record in the NBA.
Yeah, they're what are they now on the road? They're 16-7.
Yeah,
on the road. They're better on the road than they are at home this year. They're 11-6 at home.
It's crazy.
That is insane.
Insane.
Wow. And if I would have told you that 8 games into Joker being out, the Nuggets would be tied for the 2 seed in the West, just 6.5 games back of the Thunder, who are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, what would your reaction have been?
No way.
There's no freaking way.
I was like, every game they win is going to be a miracle, but not really. I mean, there's been really good play, and it hasn't felt like the Sixers felt like a miracle.
That was a miracle.
Tomorrow night might be the same thing. I mean, we'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised. Well, the whole thing, Sixers, no real starters started, and there's a distinct possibility that could happen tomorrow as well. So,
well, they do have two days off after tomorrow night, so that's why I'm predicting that Jamal will play. I would be very surprised if Aaron Gordon played, just because he hasn't been playing on back-to-backs, and technically he's still on a minutes restriction. But man, also, how good has Aaron Gordon looked since he's come back?
He's great.
He hasn't missed a beat. He's been phenomenal.
Guy's nails. Whole team is incredible, and now you got to figure out how to keep Peyton Watson around, bro. Like,
you have to.
I mean, how many teams in the NBA would this dude start for?
Oh, at least 20.
At least, right?
I mean, with how he's playing right now, you know, the TV broadcast, and I actually tweeted this out. So over his last 7 games, Peyton Watson, not including tonight, so these numbers actually will go up, but over the last 7 games, not including tonight, D-Mac, he's averaging just under 24 points a game. Okay. All-star caliber numbers.
Yeah.
He's shooting 50% from the field.
Sick.
46% from 3. Amazing. 7 rebounds, a steal, and a block a game. And those are going to go up after tonight. So he's averaging well over 24 points a game over his last 8 games. Absolutely
sick. Like, the question was, who's going to step up? Well, Peyton Watson, number 1. And then Jalen Pickett, probably number 2.
Oh,
and you kind of go from there.
And Zeke Naji, you got to throw him in there. You
Put him
know,
at number 3.
yeah,
It's
like
been
of
really
the
nice.
guys that you weren't expecting to step up, because obviously Tim Hardaway has been, and Scott kept mentioning this on the broadcast tonight, and he did say it's early, but he's right. Like Tim Hardaway needs to be in serious consideration for sixth man of the year. He's been, where are they at
incredible
over this 8-game stretch without Tim Hardaway? They're not
You know
5
what
and 3.
the truth is, where would they be without any of the guys that we mentioned stepping up and playing like they've done? It has really been this crazy collective team effort.
Yeah.
Where they've all been really important, all of them. So what a blast, man. And great win. I don't care that the Pelicans suck, which they do. And you look at Zion, like, oh my God, really? What's the big deal with that guy?
Yeah, they're gonna trade him.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen a bunch of reports saying that they are openly looking to trade him.
Well, that makes a lot of man.
And what would you give up for Zion?
You got me.
Would you give up? Okay, let me ask you this: would you give up a, I don't know, first round pick if it was in the 20 to 30 range for Zion? Like if you're a top 10 team this season, would you give up your first round pick knowing it's going to be in the 20s or at 30 for Zion for the stretch run?
That's a great question.
I don't know if I would.
I don't know. Because if I'm one of those teams, I probably don't need him as a starter. Like the Nuggets wouldn't need Zion as a starter, would they? Well,
right
would
now,
you rather?
maybe.
Well, would you rather have Zion or Spencer Jones? You might take Zion there.
Probably Zion, but like Zion plays more of the Gordon role for them. Like the Nuggets don't.
All right, but could he play this? Zion. Could he play this? Well, right, because Spencer's just about defense. Right, that's a bad comparison. Like where would Zion fit on the Nuggets? Off the bench?
I don't. Yeah, I guess. I would not want Zion on the Nuggets. I don't think the Nuggets and him would, the way they play, I don't think it meshes well. I could see Zion going to, the Clippers or the Lakers or even the Warriors, something like that. One of those older veteran teams looking to add a scoring punch down the stretch and into the playoffs. Like I could see something like that.
Can I give you the most bananas thing of all time?
Let's hear it.
Just really no dumb questions. Then I'll leave you alone. It was very cool to see Michael Porter Jr. there tonight.
Yes.
Very cool. Is it outrageous to get Michael Porter Jr. back?
I would love it.
Is that insane? Like, is it just stupid financially? And
financially is the problem, D-Mac. Like that is
like
the problem.
You just can't do it financially, huh?
Well, yeah, because like again, and I know we've talked about this a bunch, but I want Nuggets fans to understand that you cannot view the Cam for MPJ trade as a 1-for-1. I know technically on paper it was, but that allowed them to open up their cap space to sign Tim Hardaway, Bruce Brown, and Jonas Valanciunas. So really, you have to look at that trade that way. It technically was a 1-for-1, but in reality, it allowed the Nuggets to build out their depth on this team. So let me ask you this. Would you rather have Michael for this season? No Tim Hardaway, no Bruce Brown, no Cam.
No.
Well, maybe you get Bruce Brown. So we'll say Jonas, no Jonas, no Cam, no Tim Hardaway. But you do have Bruce Brown and MPJ.
Nah, I guess you're right. I know what you're saying.
I love MPJ as a player, but that contract is just, it hamstrung him so bad.
Yeah, I just saw him. He gets along so great with these guys. They truly do love him. And he is having one hell of a year with the Nets. But, what good is he doing them, right? Like, he's probably way more valuable to them as a trade piece. And
I'd be shocked if they didn't trade him.
Oh, I would be too. Why would they keep him?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could get some really valuable commodities for the future for Michael Porter Jr. right now.
Yes, absolutely. His trade value has never been higher.
Never been higher.
Why would you keep?
Are you going to build around Michael Porter Jr. in Brooklyn? I mean, you're not going to do that.
No, so, I think you said it today on the show, Golden State. That would hurt,
I know,
but it would make all the sense in the world with the way they play.
Right,
like he would be their new Klay Thompson, taller Klay Thompson,
taller. Like the Klay KD combo meal, like Michael Porter Jr. That would make. That'd be tough, huh? That'd be tough. But I don't know. All right, great win, Dan. I just want to check in and say, hey, say hi to everybody.
It.
Everybody's awesome in the comments. Seeing all the comments. You got a great crew there, and I just, awesome win. I wanted to show off. Maybe this is my new victory hat.
Yes.
Put on my flat brim 303 Nuggies.
Oh, it says 303. I didn't even know that. Is sweet.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
It's Nuggets. Hold on. It's Nuggets based, right? Like, there
you go. Oh, that is sick. That is sick.
All right. I look terrible in a flat brim. Oh, by the way, can I tell you a depressing story real quick?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm doing a new show with Rachel B. Hill, Cocktail Hour. And tomorrow
I watched that. That was fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. And tomorrow we go at 6:00. We're going to have Labatt Blue, which is like, because I lived in Buffalo, and she's like, well, what do they drink in Buffalo? And I was like, well, Canadian beer. It's kind of a weird deal, but they do.
Is it Molson?
It's Labatt's. Labatt's is his own. You've never heard of Labatt's?
I've heard of Molson. When I went to Toronto, we were drinking Molsons.
Okay.
I've not heard of Labatt's, though.
You've never even heard of Labatt's?
No.
See, that's great, right? Like, there you go.
Yeah.
You learn something new about beer. And you don't find Labatt's around very often. So I wasn't sure where to go. So I went to one of those big, huge mega liquor stores. And my summation of that is, wow, there's a lot of alcoholics around here. So,
well, I lived 10 minutes from Bevy's on C470 in Bowles growing up.
Mega, just gargantuan sort of joints.
It is literally a Costco, but just alcohol. That's literally what it is.
Yeah,
it is a giant warehouse just full of booze. It's the biggest liquor store I've ever walked into.
We seriously, as a population, have a problem. Anyways, yeah. I found it relatively easily, which was great because I would never find it just in a small little liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to the checkout counter, and the woman at the checkout counter has a huge button, a big, huge button, and it says, under 50, we ID. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Here we go. Under 50, we ID. And I step up, and I whatever, and put my card in the thing. She just looks at me and like, you want a receipt? I go, I got my ID. She goes, you don't need it.
You're good. That is that's an ego killer right there,
like, man. Under 50. I can't pass for under 50? Really?
DMAC, I drink cocktails. If you ever want to invite me on the show.
Yeah. All right. Time for me to go. I'll talk to you.
All right, man.
I'll see you later. Bye.
All right. There is DMAC. Yeah. If you ever get a chance, new show, DMAC and Rachel V. Hill are starting Cocktail Hour, and they just kind of drink booze and talk about sports. And it was great. I checked out their first. Hey, again, I don't mean to get too in the weeds with what the Nuggets are doing right now, but this really is incredible. 5-3 without Jokic and a litany of other starters and their backup center, Jonas Valanciunas, who's been fantastic this year. The job that the coaching staff is doing, the job that some of the role player into the bench guys are doing is just remarkable. And I just think that, this is going to benefit the Nuggets at some point down the stretch of this regular season and possibly in the playoffs. Because like I was talking about before DMAC came on, like I'm knocking on wood. Obviously you don't ever want injuries, but more than likely they're going to have some injuries in the playoffs. Okay. That's just the way it goes in sports. And the confidence that guys like Zeke Naji and Jalen Pickett and even Peyton Watson are building right now is going to serve this team really, really well down the stretch. If they need to go that route with some of these players, if guys get injured in the playoffs, I feel a hell of a lot more confident that the Nuggets can survive a game or two or even a series if they have a starter or more than a starter go down with the way this team is playing right now. And I'm not saying they're going to win a championship without Nikola Jokic and a lot of their starters. Okay. Don't get it twisted, but the depth that they've built and the confidence that some of these guys are playing with, they can win this team a series, help them win a series in the playoffs if it comes down to that. And that is just a great problem to have if you're David Adelman. And again, I think Jalen Pickett has played so well over this stretch that, again, this is not I'm not trying to downgrade Christian Braun. He's dealt with injuries this year. I love Christian as a player. I really do. But the way that Jalen Pickett and the Jamal Murray backcourt looked tonight, whew, I mean, those guys played off each other very well, and their chemistry is only going to grow more and more the more that they play together. So I hope we get to see the Jalen Pickett and Jamal Murray backcourt get a little bit more run here before the team gets healthy. And if it continues to look like it did tonight, I'm in the camp of maybe you just start Jalen Pickett until he gives you a reason to not start him. That's kind of where I'm at with Jalen Pickett right now. I think he's been that good for the Nuggets. And, that gives Christian Braun plenty of time to get fully healthy. And we've seen Christian Braun come off the bench. I know it was his rookie year, but that's the year the Nuggets won a championship. And Christian Braun was it game 3 or game 4 of the finals? I always get those mixed up. But he helped the Nuggets win a game in the finals coming off the bench. So I know he can do it. And if Jalen Pickett starting is what's best for this team, then, I'm all in. So awesome win for the Nuggets tonight. Again, they beat the Pelicans 122-116 is your final. They're now 27-13 on the year, tied for second in the Western Conference, and they will play in Dallas coming up tomorrow night against Cooper Flagg and the Mavs. That's going to do it for the post-game show tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the program. What a win for the Nuggets, and we'll be back to react to Nuggets and Mavs coming up tomorrow night. We will see you then. Peace.